Hey guys, welcome back to Xposed Tuesday. Today is finally the day where we restart this actual series that we've been having for a while, and that's because Xposed Installer and Rovo 89 finally released actually a supported version for ART and Lollipop for our devices. That means we'll be able to start using some of these Xposed modules that have been out, and hopefully new ones that get updated on our Lollipop-based devices. So I'm going to walk you through the installation process and how to get this thing running, specifically on the Nexus 6 since this is what I have, but mostly on generally almost all the other systems that are out there. It's a simple step-by-step process, but there's a few little tricks since we're still in alpha. Let's check it out. First thing we want to make sure is download and install two files that are provided to us by Rovo 89 directly on our system. The first one is the installer itself, version 3.0, and it says Alpha 1, and then also the Xposed ARM 2015 to 13B. There was two files depending on when you get them. Download those and install them. The APK is installed normally. You install that file first, then you restart your system into your recovery. It has to be a custom recovery, and then make sure you install the zip file directly from there. There's no special permissions, no real requirements other than just installing it. Be aware though that once you install this, that your system will reboot and it will be in the point where it says Android is optimizing before it starts up again. So your first boot after installing that zip file could take some time. The next thing we want to do is, once we do this, our installer should be installed and we'll be able to access it. The problem is once we get into that process, it would tell us that the actual module is not turned on correctly. So there's one more step that we need to do to get the current version of the Xposed installer to work. We need to change the actual Selinux mode on our kernel, and most kernels come in forcing to permissive. And I actually have the notification showing here so that whenever I restart my device, it tells me exactly what mode this has turned on. The reason why we're doing this is so that the Xposed installer and the Xposed module works correctly. Most of our kernels, again, are enforcing, and it's a requirement currently. Hopefully in the future we won't need to worry about this, but at least for current version, this is where we are. You change the permissive, you check the box here. It's a free application. You can check with it on the Google Play Store. And once you have this, the only thing you need to do to be able to use your system is download a few modules, install them, and make sure you go into the modes and then check the box for them. And then you go back into the actual framework tab and then make sure you soft reboot. Do not reboot normally. I'll explain to you in the process. As a simple way to explain it is Xposed module or Xposed installer starts ahead of the actual Selinux mode changer. And the reason because that is the way things boot up into Android. So by the time the Selinux mode is changed to permissive from enforcing, the Xposed module that's tried to turn on didn't work and you end up having an error on it and it doesn't work for you. So doing a soft reboot, it enables you to actually circumvent that process, and you do end up keeping the permissive functionality. So we do a soft reboot on the system restarts, and then you're able to use your modules, and you'll be able to actually access them and then use them and then update them. Again, there's a few lists of things that are not currently working, but I'll give you guys a quick short video soon of all the modules that I'm able to get to run currently from KitKat that are working on Lollipop. There's more and more updates coming on now that at least the installer functions. Installing Xposed right now and getting it running on your system is not as complicated as, reinstalling an entire operating system on your phone. But it's also not as easy as it used to be with installing just an APK. So please be aware that there is a couple of steps that you need to go through. All of them are actually outlined within the actual original post directly within Rovo's main thread. The only concern though is since he initially tested it on the Nexus 5 and that's where he has it mostly running, a lot of other systems are not necessarily running in the same position. I saw a lot of times that there was LG devices that were having some concerns, and mostly Nexus 6 was almost, for the first few, maybe 100 pages, a lot of notes saying basically Nexus 6 was not supported. And the reason behind that is it's specifically basically to the Selinux permission that's set within our kernel. So as I showed you guys with the hands-on, the process that I showed you will work on the Nexus 6. It should also work on the LG devices. The Nexus 5 didn't have as many concerns, but definitely check the thread for your specific device if you're running Lollipop. TouchWiz ROMs, stock ROMs are currently having some concerns, but Rovo's looking into it to try to be able to basically circumvent that issue, specifically since Samsung's starting to release a lot of this, Lollipop devices on their Note 4s and their, I think, Galaxy S5s. So please be aware and double check that first. Overall, I think the installation of the process is not that hard. You just have to make sure that it works for you. A lot of modules are getting updated to work on Lollipop, so you may want to check out some of the ones that you have. I tried to have a couple that I used to like on, on KitKat for me, like ChromePie wouldn't work for me. Greenify for some reason doesn't want to work for me. It's installed, even though I'm able to use other modules, I can't use the Xposed module function of it. So there are some things that are in there that need to be updated. I'm going to work on a video for us to kind of get us a good list of some of the ones that are legacy modules that came from, KitKat that are working on our Lollipop devices. Overall, it's a great process to get into as far as getting Xposed running on our system, and it's very, very exciting. I am running CM built a ROM by CR Droid on my device, so I'm not even running stock. I'm on Android 5.0.2, and it works very nicely on my system. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm glad to be able to hopefully reboot this actual series again, and we'll be able to start having more frequent Xposed Tuesdays as well as must-have apps here on Tuesdays on XDA. As usual, like and subscribe to this channel, like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys soon.